Studios at One Television Plaza, this is WTAP News at 6.
2 people die after a fire truck backs up and runs over them. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Phyllis Smith. The Ohio State Highway Patrol says 2 people are dead after getting hit by a fire truck while it was backing up. Reporter Caitlin Coolidge takes us to where the wreck happened last night. Caitlin.
It was right around this bend on County Road 9, where Ohio State Highway Patrol says 2 people were killed after being hit by a fire truck last night. It all started when a mobile home caught on fire on County Road 9 around 7 last night. This video is the closest we could get to the scene. The Ohio State Highway Patrol says a Williamstown fire truck was backing up when it ran over 2 people and killed them. Their names were William and Carolyn Reed. They are both 72 years old. Sergeant Garrick Warner of the Ohio State Highway Patrol says they are working with the coroner's office and the Williamstown Fire Department and that the crash and the fire are under investigation. Caitlin Coolidge, Washington County, WTAP News.
Thank you, Caitlin. Turning to the weather, some sun and some rain. Meteorologist Kirk Greenfield joins us now with a first look at your forecast. Kirk?
Well, we had some gusty rain showers that blew through in the middle of the afternoon, bringing us some cooler air and still breezy conditions. When we take a look at the view here up in Marietta, it's a Jan Dills Marietta Skycam atop the Lafayette Hotel. 62 degrees, 41% relative humidity, winds out of the northwest at 16, and pressure is 29.96 inches and rising. Here's the frost advisory that's going into effect tonight, running from 2 a.m. till 9 Saturday. That's because we're going to be so close to freezing again that a frost advisory has been expanded into our region. So when we look at the evening planner, by 8 o'clock, we expect to be 55 and sunny and still cool, but we'll drop down to about the mid-40s by midnight. Now we'll talk about how long and how many times we're likely to have frost advisories when I return. Back to you.
Thank you, Kirk. 2 longtime Wood County school buildings are auctioned off on the same day, and both are sold to local business families. Todd Boucher is at one of those historic school buildings that went on the auction block today. He talked to both buyers about their plans for the structures. Todd.
Well, where I am right now is Worthington Elementary School. This is the building, the first building that was auctioned off about 10 o'clock this morning. And from what we're being told, the new owners of both of the buildings that were auctioned off have plans to keep them intact. The auctions today were attended by 3 groups of people: potential buyers, Board of Education members, and those just simply getting a glimpse of where they or their children once went to school. Worthington was the first to be sold this morning for $400,000. Nick Curry of the Curry and Transfer Moving Company is the buyer. Curry, who attended Worthington as a child, says he has some ideas for use of the structure.
If I could get it for a certain dollar per square foot area, I'd snap it up and figure out what to do with it later.
I think the plan is to keep the building here as it is, and probably fix it up a little bit, and I don't know what happens from there.
Astorg of the auto dealer family, who you heard there a second ago, purchased McKinley Elementary this afternoon for $160,000. Wood County Superintendent Will Hassefluke, who was at both auctions, said that this afternoon that it's his hope both buildings continue to be a part of the community. Now, from my experience of covering buildings that are closed by the Board of Education, one of 3 things happen to them. They are used for other purposes, or they're torn down and something else is built there, or they just become empty lots. One person I talked to this afternoon said, who had children who attended McKinley, said if the latter happens, if it becomes torn down, she'll be willing to chain herself to the front door to make sure that doesn't happen, or at least in the hopes that that doesn't happen, Phyllis.
Todd Boucher reporting live in Parkersburg tonight. Todd, thank you. Yesterday's sentencing of Dominic McClung for the murder of Karen Yeager means the cases against all of the suspects in the fatal stabbing are resolved. McClung was sentenced to life in prison and up to 5 years for concealment of a deceased human body. Another suspect, Michael Ledman, was sentenced in late 2019 to 40 years in prison. 2 other suspects, Eric Dillon and Tyler Jenkins, also recently entered guilty pleas. Dillon pleaded guilty to the charge of being an accessory after the fact, and Jenkins entered a guilty plea to transferring stolen property. Both got 1-year sentences, although prosecutor Pat Lefebvre says Jenkins' sentence was suspended and he was given probation. The body of the 68-year-old Karen Yeager was found near the 5th Street Bridge after she was first reported missing on Labor Day weekend 2019. If you have recently driven past Parkersburg High School, you may have noticed the over 1,000 flags out in front of the school. Students in the school's Key Club have put out 2,000 West Virginia state flags. The flags represent and honor the over 2,000 West Virginians who have lost their lives to COVID-19. Cece Fada is one of the students involved. She came up with the idea after seeing a picture of a similar memorial at a school in Oklahoma. She says this is a good way to honor the lives lost.
I think it's a good thing to do, and I think it's important that people realize how many people are actually dying of this. This gives them something to actually look at instead of just a number that may not really matter to them.
The flags will be outside the school for the next few weeks. Mon Power is donating at least 600 trees to Wood County 4-H campgrounds. Volunteers were hard at work this morning planting hardwood trees like oaks, maples, and black gums. It wasn't just Mon Power employees there. Volunteers from Community Bank pitched in as well. Sleeves were used to protect the seedlings from deer, and netting was used as protection against birds. This is all part of an effort to reforest the area, as well as to fulfill Mon Power's parent company, First Energy's goal of planting over 10,000 trees in its service area.
Mon Power has a green team, and it's part of the mission to really promote environmental stewardship and responsible use of natural resources.
The rest of the donated seedlings will be planted at the campgrounds tomorrow with the help of 4-H kids. The Blennerhassett Island State Park is gearing up for another busy season this year. It opens tomorrow. The island's maintenance crew has been hard at work preparing for opening day tomorrow. Craig Biles, superintendent at the Blennerhassett, says despite not opening until June last year due to COVID-19, the park had more visitors last fall than in years before. Biles says there are some COVID-19 safety measures people should be aware of before they hop on a boat and journey over.
Due to transportation protocols, we will ask everybody wear a mask on the boat, and while they're doing the mansion tours inside public buildings to wear a mask also. But other than that, once you get to the island, you can spread out, social distance, take your mask off, enjoy a little slice of nature right here in the Mid-Ohio Valley.
He says the first stern-wheeler ride over to the island is now at 10 a.m. and the final ride will be at 4:30 p.m. Outdoor movie nights, an 1860s-style baseball game, and outdoor yoga are just some of the events happening this year at the island. To learn more about hours, prices, and events, call 304-420-4800. Still ahead, we'll introduce you to Jonathan Davis for our This Is Home feature. He has autism and is getting career training from Goodwill and works at the Blennerhassett Hotel. Next at 6.
Gusty winds and rain showers mark the passage of another cold front, setting up the frost advisory in the region for tonight. It's next at 6.